Yes. All right. Hi, my name's Tim, and this is Louie, and this is our van.
This content is sponsored by Outdoorsy. Through Outdoorsy, you can rent your camper van out to make extra cash, and you can rent a van to try van life before you commit.
It's a Nissan NV 2500 2014 model, and recently it was converted to four-wheel drive with a 4-inch lift. So Louie's been in the van for 3 years. I've been living out of it for 5 years, working remotely and adventuring. It's got 112,000 miles. What I really love about it is its reliability. So Louie and I love living out of a van. Gave me a great opportunity to train him up in different environments. And so he's a well-trained pup, and what's best about it is that we love to adventure, like pack rafting, paddleboarding, mountain biking, hiking. So unique part of my van and why it works for me, I have a workbench slash sleeping arrangement, and this is how it works. So for my 8 to 5, basically a desk job, this is how I work with monitors and keyboard and etc. here. And then at night, to convert it, I didn't have Louie 6 years ago. In the beginning, when I created the van, built the van, and so what I've done to modify the bench slash bed area was that I basically deploy these shelving brackets and then flip this platform piece down. And then I use his beds that I stack 1, 2, and then there is our sleeping arrangement. On the bed. Atta boy. Go G. All right, so this is how it looks with the platform deployed. Lay down. And so it's about 50 inches wide by 75 inches long, and I put his bedding on this side so that I have access to the barn doors or to the mudroom behind me. And even though this guy usually takes up most of the space, I'm usually pressed up against this and he's pressed up against me, but it works for us. This height right here is just tall enough for his body to stand up. This cabinet right here is recessed, so when I work, it's not too bad to be in the way. And what I have for this window is absolutely necessary because it's got ventilation, so that when I cook, then I have fan going so I can get all the humidity out. Underneath the workbench is where all the water and the electrical work is, and I can walk through that. And what I have for water, I basically have 42 gallons of fresh water on board. It's just these standard Reliance 7-gallon jugs. I've got 5 here and then one's up front in front of Louie's dog bed, and it's just a basic SureFlow Evolution water pump. It's been absolutely fantastic, and this is what provides water flow to my sink, my galley, and then also my shower that's right behind me. So the 42 gallons we have on board, that usually lasts Louie and I probably plus or minus a few days, but typically around 2 weeks. The electrical is all centralized right here. Then I also have kill switches for the inverter, alternator, solar. This is the master kill switch where just basically everything shuts down in basically the house. Underneath all of this, what you can't see are 3 100 amp hour Battle-Born lithium batteries, so I have 300 amp hours total. And those are charged by 300 watts of solar on the roof. The inverter also is set up to charge from standard engine battery to lithium. Starting with the monitors, this is the battery monitor by Victron. This is our Webasto heater. This is our fan. This is our CO2 alarm. And then this is the device that actually helps me do my job. This is my wireless router by Cradlepoint. They're a great company out of Idaho. And since I work in IT, this is basically the best mobile solution you can get for wireless at this time. And it basically has 2 antennas on the roof, and those basically supply the internet for me to do my job 8 to 5 inside or outside the van. The Webasto heater, I put the monitor on-off switch right here so that when I wake up I don't have to move. I just reach over my head and turn it on. It's a couple presses, and The vent is right here, so it's basically positioned so that it pushes hot air right underneath the bench and just heats up the van. Because Louis on board, I want to make sure that he's not getting cold. So this is my overhead storage. What I keep in these locations is basically mountain biking gear, clothing, and then this is one food location, basically pantry. And this is under the galley storage. What I have is just pots and pans, basically canned goods. Roll out here for another pantry. And this right here is a catch-all, and behind that is basically my gray water tank. I have it set up that where I feel comfortable, if I'm just washing my hands and I want water to just bypass the gray water tank, it can actually go directly into the ground. And then also my stovetop is fueled by these green Coleman canisters. And this is my stovetop. It's again, it's a Dometic. It's 2-burner. It runs off the Coleman propanes, and it's worked like a charm. I haven't had to service it or anything. This is the sink. It works. It's been fantastic. I've had the same SureFlow Revolution water pump this entire time in 5 years. And we have storage up here, more storage right there. And then snack bin, just empty, but we're gonna work on that today. The sink is just cold water only. I've never had a real need for hot water. If I do need hot water, I actually use a jet boil and just heat up some water. That's why this thermos is here, and then I just keep that for the day if I need to make coffee. So I use the tool chest here because I couldn't myself fabricate something that's as efficient and saves a lot of space because there's so much gear in here. This is basically mountain biking gear, tools for the van, camera stuff. This is the other side of the tool chest, and down here is where our fridge rolls out. This is a Dometic CFX 40 liter. I got it in 2015 when I was building the van. It's basically been on for 5-6 years, and it's done the trick. Even though he came on board 3 years ago, it's still enough space for him and I, and we basically go to the groceries that Thursday every week. This is Louis' dog space when we're traveling, and this is actually my favorite thing I constructed in this entire van. I just love how I was able to meet his needs by having his own dog space. Obviously the front seat is removed. It was removed the day I bought the van. Why I love it is because it's so big for him. Actually, there's 2 beddings that I had custom tailored, and obviously these convert to our bed space at night. When I'm working, he chills here or chills on the bench. This is where the vent is for the Webasto heater, and it vents towards basically the hallway. Louis has his AAC devices for him to have another way of communicating to me. These are used so that this one obviously says window, and if he wants the window rolled halfway down when we're driving, because he loves to hang outside and watch people, so he hits that and that communicates to me, and I roll the window halfway down, and he's got that nailed. And there's some other ones that we have dialed, if you take a look at this one right here, it's the most popular one, which is Fetch. And you can tell by all the claw marks. All right, so this is my shower slash basically toilet setup, and the shower for me is definitely something I definitely have again. But for the toilet, I think it's like a nice to have. I'm not sure if I would do it again, but this right here is actually, I just put Louis' food in dry bags to keep the condensation out, and to shower, this curtain here follows these tracks. It's a tight space, but because it is, I basically just sit down and shower, and the shower actually drains directly into the ground. The toilet has just a Blackwater 5-gallon tank. Okay, so this is the shower head. I don't even have anywhere to secure it. I just hold it over my head while I'm basically sitting down and showering. The shower is actually surprisingly a strong current that comes through. I think it's like 3 gallons a minute. It's actually better than some of the hotels I've been in. So that's been awesome. The way that it connects, basically there's a conduit in the back, and then it connects back to the water pump that's about 3 or 4 feet away. So as much as I love the van, I think that the best thing about the van is actually Louis, which I had no idea. I didn't see him coming. He was born 4 years ago. My dad actually got him in Massachusetts, and he proved to be too adventurous and hyperactive for him. So the plan was for him to get trained up by me and live with this lifestyle, and it's been better than I could have ever dreamed. It was great before, living and working remotely from the van, but ever since the addition of Louis, it's basically just taken on a new elevated form of happiness for me. It's just the companion that I didn't know I always needed. He has about 70 commands that I use very regularly, and whether we're adventuring, pack rafting, paddleboarding, that we use to keep him safe, having a good time. You know, when I'm working, he's a very chill dog, but he's had to learn a lot along the way. But in this environment, it's such a great training atmosphere, just living our best life. Thanks for checking out our van. Hope to see you out there on the road or on the trails. My Instagram is Van Life Travelog, and his is Van Life Travel Dog. And yeah, hope to see you out there. Take care.
I hope you enjoyed that video. If you hadn't noticed, we do sell an ebook for how to convert a van. It has over 190 pages of detailed instructions and diagrams, also 25 video tutorials which are specifically for the ebook buyer. Creating a van for many people is obviously a really intimidating project, but I really believe, and I've seen it time and time and time again, that with the right information, anyone can turn out with a pretty decent van conversion. So check the link in the description, subscribe to the channel if you are not already, and drop us a comment if you like this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.